Have you ever heard the term Kamikakushi, or spirited away? In Japan, for centuries, stories have been passed down about people mysteriously disappearing, only to return, later or sometimes never at all. Many of these inexplicable events occurred in remote mountain areas, with whispers of a formidable presence behind them, the Tengu. Tengu are believed to possess supernatural powers, fly through the sky, and lure people into other realms with abilities beyond human comprehension. But is this merely superstition? With the advancements of modern science, isn't it possible that some kind of physical phenomenon, still beyond our current understanding, is at play? Especially testimonies of instantaneous travel and sudden appearances and disappearances reported in Kamikakushi phenomena eerily parallel. The concept of teleportation, or spatial transfer, which modern physics actively researches. Are Tengu merely legendary beings, or are they entities that manipulate higher dimensional physical laws unknown to us? On this channel, we will delve into the truth behind Kamikakushi incidents linked to Tengu, blending ancient Japanese legends with the latest scientific insights. We will thoroughly examine inexplicable phenomena that science cannot yet explain from multidisciplinary perspectives such as physics, folklore, and psychology to unravel their mysteries. If you find this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any stories of Kamikakushi or strange experiences, please share them in the comments section. Your experiences might hold the key to unlocking this grand mystery. Now let's open the door to the unknown. From ancient times in Japan, the phenomenon of Kamikakushi, or people suddenly disappearing, has been passed down through generations. It refers to events where individuals vanish without a trace, as if hidden away by gods or beings from another realm. Many such occurrences were said to happen to children or young women, with the missing persons sometimes found days later, in completely different locations, or returning with their mental state disturbed. What exactly causes people to disappear and then return? To tackle this mystery, let's first explore the historical background and specific cases of Kamikakushi. Records of Kamikakushi can be found as early as the Heian period. For example, the Konjaku Monogatarishu contains stories of people getting lost in forests and being taken by Oni demons, or returning after experiencing another world. At that time, Oni didn't always refer to the modern image of demons. They often encompassed all beings beyond human comprehension, including Tengu. Tengu, in particular, were revered as guardians of sacred, inaccessible deep mountains and secluded valleys. They were sometimes depicted as mountain ascetics called yamabushi, or as fearsome bird-like creatures, or even as half-human, half-bird beings. In any case, their supernatural powers far exceeded human imagination. The strong connection between Kamikakushi and Tengu mainly emerged in Japan during the medieval period and beyond, as Shugendo mountain asceticism flourished and mountain worship became deeply ingrained in people's lives. The image of Tengu as rulers of the mountain otherworld was established. People attributed getting lost in the mountains or experiencing unforeseen accidents to the work of Tengu. Many testimonies remain, especially those describing people being drawn into the depths of the forest by sudden fog, thunderstorms, or strange sounds, only to find themselves in unfamiliar places. This directly links to the belief that Tengu mislead humans, steal their souls, or lure them into another dimension. However, even in modern times, incidents that seem like Kamikakushi continue to occur. For example, in recent years, we sometimes hear news of people who suddenly disappear while hiking, only to be found days later in completely unexpected locations. They suddenly appear in places that search parties had thoroughly scoured without success. They often have vague memories of what happened, or report experiencing unusual things. Doesn't this suggest that some other force is at work? One that cannot be explained by mere accidents or getting lost? Many missing persons report experiencing deep fog, seeing strange lights, losing consciousness, and then waking up in a completely different place. It's as if space itself warped and they were instantaneously transported. This strongly evokes spatial transfer or instantaneous travel, which are among the supernatural powers attributed to Tengu. Can they truly manipulate space with power beyond human comprehension? If so, is there any scientific way to explain the mechanism by which this is possible? Behind this inexplicable phenomenon, there might be physical laws still unknown to us. What do you think about these modern Kamikakushi phenomena? Do you dismiss them as mere coincidence or illusion, or do you feel that some other force is at play? Please share your opinions in the comments. As a key to unraveling this mysterious phenomenon, let's introduce the cutting-edge concept of teleportation from modern physics. Teleportation refers to the technology or phenomenon of instantaneously moving an object or information from one place to another. While a familiar concept in science fiction in the world of quantum mechanics, quantum teleportation has already been realized. This isn't about moving matter itself, but rather instantly transferring information held by particles. However, if this could be applied to complex living organisms like humans, it would be precisely the instantaneous travel described in Kamikakushi. Quantum teleportation utilizes a phenomenon called entanglement or quantum entanglement. This is a peculiar phenomenon where, even if two quantum particles are separated, observing the state of one instantly determines the state of the other. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance. What if Tengu could manipulate this quantum entanglement at a much higher level? They might possess a tremendous technology capable of disassembling human consciousness and bodies at a particle level and reassembling them in another location. Alternatively, it's possible they travel through higher dimensions that humans cannot perceive. Numerous areas on this Earth remain unexplained by science. If Tengu exist and possess spatial transfer abilities, they might be capable of traveling not only through our perceived three-dimensional space, but also through even higher dimensions. To higher dimensional beings, our three-dimensional space might appear as thin as a single sheet of paper. They could freely move us who walk on that paper from outside of it. Doesn't imagining this make the Kamikakushi phenomenon a little more understandable? Tengu legends describe them as possessing supernatural powers, such as flying through the sky, superhuman strength, and foretelling the future. These might seem like fantasies far removed from science. However, what if they were beings who manipulated physical laws, different from ours or even the pinnacle of scientific technology? For example, the ability to fly might be an application of anti-gravity technology, or the ability to freely manipulate air currents. Superhuman strength might not only be due to differences in their physical capabilities, but also the ability to manipulate specific frequencies of sound waves or vibrations, temporarily weakening the bonds of matter. And precognition? This might stem from concepts of time in quantum mechanics, or the ability to perceive things from a multidimensional perspective. Considering the possibility that Tengu's supernatural powers are not mere superstition, but are based on advanced scientific technology, the Kamikakushi phenomenon also appears from a different angle. Perhaps they interpret these abilities as divine powers, simply because humans possess immature scientific technology. If so, Tengu might be extraterrestrials with a civilization, far more advanced than ours or intelligent. Life forms that have evolved differently and reside deep within the Earth or in other dimensions. This possibility poses a highly stimulating question as we contemplate the origins of the universe and life. What did you think when you heard that Tengu's supernatural powers might be an extension of scientific technology? If your imagination has been stirred, please share your thoughts in the comments. Looking closely at the testimonies of people said to have experienced Kamikakushi, a common thread emerges. Many of them encountered these inexplicable experiences when they were in a mentally unstable or extremely fatigued state. Moreover, their testimonies are often vague, with specific situations and the flow of time often jumbled. This might indicate how human memory and perception can become distorted under extreme conditions or mental stress. From a psychological perspective, Kamikakushi could also be a type of hallucination or illusion, caused by extreme stress or loneliness, or even a form of dissociative disorder. The environment of deep mountains and secluded valleys is full of elements that can deceive human senses. Sudden fog, strange sounds echoing through valleys, unfamiliar terrain, and varying light conditions, all of these can disturb human perception, leading to hallucinations or illusions. Especially in high mountains with lower oxygen concentrations, judgment can be impaired, and one can easily lose their sense of direction. Furthermore, some remote mountain areas are said to have strong geomagnetic anomalies. In such places, compasses can malfunction, cell phones lose signal, And it's not uncommon to completely lose one's sense of direction. It was, in a sense, a natural psychological reaction for ancient people to interpret these natural phenomena as the work of Tengu. However, not all Kamikakushi incidents can be explained by such psychological factors or natural phenomena. Some cases involve truly inexplicable elements that science cannot account for. For example, incidents where someone, despite extensive and thorough search efforts, is not found, only to suddenly reappear days later in a completely different location outside the search area and without any significant injuries. This cannot be explained by mere disorientation or fatigue-induced illusions. Here we cannot rule out the possibility that some unknown force, still beyond our understanding, is at work. If Kamikakushi is not just a superstition or an illusion, and if Tengu truly are beings who manipulate spatial transfer, how should we understand and deal with their abilities? Are they benevolent beings or malevolent entities that toy with humans? In legends, Tengu are sometimes depicted as beings who help humans and at other times punish them. This might suggest that they are beings with values different from ours, transcending good and evil. Or it's possible that their actions are based on a higher dimensional logic incomprehensible to us humans. In any case, the exploration of Kamikakushi and Tengu holds the potential to open doors to worlds still unknown to humankind. By shedding light on these unexplained phenomena, we might gain new perspectives on the true nature of the universe, the diversity of life, and our own existential meaning. This is not merely an exploration of the occult, but a grand challenge that stimulates humanity's intellectual curiosity. Throughout this discussion, what was the point that captivated you the most? And if you could meet a Tengu, what would you want to ask them? Please share your dreams and questions in the comments. We have so far delved into the Kamikakushi phenomenon of Tengu from multiple perspectives: folklore, science, and psychology. We've seen the possibility that the inexplicable disappearances pass down through generations, and the concept of teleportation, explored by modern science, are far more closely linked than imagined. The possibility that Tengu are not just mythical creatures, but beings that manipulate physical laws unknown to us, or intelligent life forms dwelling in higher dimensions. And we cannot rule out the possibility that Kamikakushi is not only an illusion caused by human perception and psychological states, but also a phenomenon truly influenced by some kind of supernatural force. Along with fear, hope also exists. The fear of Kamikakushi arises from awe of the unknown. However, our inquisitiveness to unravel that unknown is precisely what has driven humanity forward. When the supernatural powers attributed to Tengu and the mystery of instantaneous travel behind the Kamikakushi phenomenon are uncovered, it will be an incredible discovery that opens a new scientific door for humanity. Perhaps in the future, humans will gain the power to move through space and even manipulate time just like Tengu. When that day comes, we will not fear Tengu, but rather understand them and choose a future where we coexist. This world still holds countless phenomena beyond our comprehension. They might be hidden within ancient myths and legends, or perhaps lurking right beside our daily lives. Tengu's Kamikakushi teaches us humility, and it reminds us of the vastness of the universe with its infinite possibilities, and the fact that our intellectual curiosity will never cease. To continue challenging unsolved mysteries, isn't that one of humanity's most noble endeavors? Through this investigation, we hope you've come to understand that Tengu is a profound theme that far exceeds our imagination. Perhaps you yourself have had unexplainable, strange experiences. Or maybe you've heard stories of someone close to you encountering a Kamikakushi-like event. We will continue to unravel the mysteries of these cherished Japanese yokai from a modern perspective. We hope this video resonated with you in some way. Opening the door to the unknown can sometimes be frightening, but it's also an exciting experience. On this channel, we will continue to pursue profound themes that stimulate your intellectual curiosity. If today's story resonated with you, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. That is a huge encouragement for our activities. And if there are any other yokai or mysterious phenomena you'd like to know about next, please tell us in the comments section. Your request might become the theme for our next video. Together, let's peer into the abyss of this world and uncover hidden truths. See you in the next video.